There are moments in your life when the atmosphere shifts and something inside of you knows that what you are hearing is not ordinary sound, but a coded call. This is not a channel made to entertain curiosity seekers. It is not a performance. It is not another noise lost among thousands of voices. This place exists for one reason only: to guide the ones who carry the seal of heaven. Chosen ones who have looked into the lines of their palms and found something that defies coincidence. The letter M, formed as if written by an invisible hand. The crescent moon, so perfectly. If that mark belongs to you, then what you are about to receive is not random information. It is an awakening. It is alignment. For too long, you may have thought you were navigating this life alone, confused by the signals that interrupt your path, numbers that flash repeatedly until you feel almost haunted, animals that appear in your waking hours and in your dreams, following you with uncanny precision. You may have dismissed it. You may have told yourself it was imagination, but deep down, you know better. You know there are no accidents when heaven has circled your life. Today, I am not speaking to the world. I am speaking to you, the one who feels watched by the sky itself. Because the truth is, the skies have been watching. If the skies follow you, it is because you were trained to see them from within. This is not poetry, it is code. Falcons, eagles, and hawks are not only part of the ecosystem of this earth. For the chosen, they are divine signals written into the air itself. When the falcon passes your path, it is not random wildlife. It is the whisper of precision. When the eagle descends, it is not just a bird in flight. It is authority descending upon you, reminding you of what was granted before birth. And when the hawk circles, you are not being stalked by nature. You are being reminded that watchers from higher realms have been stationed for you, not against you. Falcons are aimless. They are the sharpest of visionaries among birds. Their eyes can perceive detail at a distance the human mind cannot even calculate. When the falcon crosses your skies, it is heaven's reminder that your spiritual vision is not broken. You were designed to see further than others, to notice the patterns others ignore, to detect the deception others accept blindly. And perhaps this is why your life has been marked by rejection. Others could not handle the sharpness of your perception. They accused you of being too intense, too suspicious, too different. But how can they understand? They were not born with the code of the falcon. You were. You were chosen since birth, and the falcon is your proof. The eagle does not simply fly, it reigns. Its wingspan alone commands authority in the air, and its presence is unmatched. When the eagle enters your awareness, whether in vision, dream, or reality, it is not for aesthetic beauty. It is the announcement of authority. Long before you were born, dominion was assigned to your name. But this dominion is not about earthly thrones. It is about spiritual rulership, the capacity to command atmospheres, to shift environments, to dismantle oppression by merely being present. Some of you have noticed that when you enter a room, the mood changes. When you arrive, hidden intentions are exposed. Conversations stop. People look nervous. That is not social awkwardness. That is eagle authority radiating from your presence. And authority is not something you begged for. It was embedded before breath. Hawks circle not because they are indecisive, but because they are watchers. They measure, they assess. They are trained to wait until the perfect moment to act. When the hawk appears around you, it is heaven's way of telling you that watchers have been appointed. You are never unobserved, not by enemies, not by angels. You live under surveillance of the divine because your assignment is too great to be left unguarded. You sometimes feel pressure, as if eyes are upon you, even in solitude. This is not paranoia. It is confirmation. The hawk is the living code of surveillance and precision. Heaven does not lose sight of what it has marked, and so the skies confirm. But the heavens also write with numbers. If you are seeing 828, it is no coincidence. This number speaks of cycles closing and new doors opening. It tells you that losses were not subtraction, but preparation. If you are seeing 1127, understand that heaven is giving you timestamps. You are being aligned not with your timing, but with divine timing. The delay you thought was failure was simply heaven preserving you for the appointed hour. If you are seeing 3903, it is the witness of watchers, a reminder that nothing escapes the eye of heaven concerning you. You are not unseen. You are not forgotten. Every detail of your life, they are part of the seal of those chosen since birth. You must understand this clearly. This channel does not exist to amuse. It does not exist to create shallow curiosity. It exists as a tool, a guidepost, a beacon for the sealed ones, those with the M carved in their palms and the crescent moon resting like a hidden jewel beneath the skin. If you are here, heaven circled this moment long before you pressed play. Do not mistake the falcon for chance. Do not dismiss the eagle as coincidence. Do not fear the hawk as if it were threat. These animals are written codes, living parables of your life. And if you are seeing them, it is because you were chosen since birth to carry vision, authority, and guarded destiny. Your life was designed for heights. Others may crawl in confusion, but you were built to soar in clarity. And heaven is making sure you do not forget it. Before I take you deeper, let me pause here and speak directly to you, person to person, heart to heart. If these are resonating with your spirit, I want you to know something. This channel was created with you in mind. It is not for everyone. It is for the few who carry undeniable evidence on their palms, the letter M carved into the lines, the perfect crescent moon pressed into the skin. If you recognize these signs in yourself, then you already know this is not random. This is destiny. And because this is not entertainment, but a tool of guidance, I am asking you right now, subscribe. Not because it helps numbers on a screen, but because it helps us keep walking together. When you subscribe, you are making a choice to stay aligned with the very messages heaven has been circling around you. But I want something more than your subscription. I want your voice. I want to know what you are sensing, what you are curious about, what you feel called to understand. Comment what signs you've been noticing in your journey. Is it a specific number that refuses to leave you alone? Is it an animal that returning in your dreams? Is it a vision you can't shake? Tell me, because this community is not just a monologue. It is a gathering of chosen ones learning from each other. So right now, before we move forward, do something simple. Pause, hit subscribe, and write in the comments what heaven has been showing you lately. I will read them. Others will read them. And together, we will build understanding. Now let us return to the falcon, the one of sharpest sight. You may think of vision only in terms of eyes, but chosen ones understand vision is spiritual perception. It is the ability to notice alignment where others see coincidence, to see warning where others see normality. When a falcon appears in your life, it is not only to say, you see clearly. It is also to demand responsibility. Because vision without action is wasted light. Heaven shows you what others cannot, not so you can boast, but so you can act. This is why you may have noticed the number 742 is a falcon code. 7 for spiritual insight, 4 for stability, 2 for discernment. Together, it is the stamp of clarity. If 742 keeps flashing, It is confirmation that your vision is not broken. You are meant to see the unseen before it manifests. And another code, 1999. If this number circles you, the Falcon is near. It signals endings, but also precision, one assignment closing, so another can be clearly seen. Vision does not mean seeing everything. It means seeing what matters in the moment. If the Falcon is vision, the eagle is dominion. Many of you have felt uncomfortable with your own presence. You walk into a room, and suddenly the energy shifts. People avoid eye contact. Conversations stumble. Sometimes even electronics glitch when you arrive. That is not a curse. That is authority. When the eagle descends, it brings awareness of who you are. And with authority comes responsibility to authority. 4 for foundations, repeated twice for confirmation. This number is eagle territory. It means you were not just called to survive, you were called to establish. You were not just called to have strength, you were called to command it. Another number linked to the eagle is 3201. A strange sequence, perhaps, but not without meaning. 3 for divine completeness, 2 for witness, 0 for infinite flow, 1 for unity. Put together, 3201 says, you carry authority because you are aligned to the infinite. The eagle confirms that rulership was not given to you by men, but by heaven. The hawk is the watcher. Some of you already know this because you can feel eyes on you even in solitude. You have awakened at night, convinced someone was present, though no one was visible. You have walked outside and felt the air itself measuring your steps. The hawk is heaven's reminder. You are never left unwatched. If you are seeing 55, change paired with 11, the number of divine beginnings. This means watchers are marking the transition, protecting you as you cross from one stage to another. Another sequence is 2772. The mirror structure itself is a hawk signature. 2 for alignment, 7 for divine insight, mirrored to emphasize balance. This is the hawk circling you with precision, assuring you that heaven's eye does not blink when it comes to your life. You may wonder, why does heaven bother with animals and numbers? Because symbols are the language of eternity. Heaven speaks in ways that bypass the filters of human logic. A falcon in your sightline, an eagle descending in your dream, a hawk circling overhead while you think of destiny. These are not accidents. They are signatures. When heaven speaks in numbers, it is because numbers are universal. They cut through culture, language, and background. If you see 742, the message is the same. That is how divine communication works. Unmistakable and precise. This is why I urge you again, do not scroll past these moments. Do not dismiss the falcon as coincidence, the eagle as random, the hawk as nature. Do not brush off numbers like 742, 844, 5511 as meaningless. To the chosen, there is no meaningless repetition. To the chosen, everything is code. You are chosen since birth, and the skies will not stop confirming it until you finally accept it. There is a truth most people will never understand. Being chosen is not always a crown. Often it feels like a weight. When you are marked since birth, when the skies themselves follow you with falcons, eagles, and hawks, your life does not look normal. You cannot blend in, no matter how hard you try. You may have wondered why people recoil from you without reason, why doors close that should have opened, why opportunities seem delayed. It is because heaven's watchers guard you. Not everything denied to you is rejection. Sometimes it is a shield you cannot see. The chosen live under a gaze others cannot comprehend. You are observed because you carry weight. You are measured because you are dangerous, not to people, but to darkness. Have you noticed how exhausting it is to see more than others? You watch patterns they ignore. You sense deception before it unfolds. You pick up energy shifts that most people dismiss. And the strangest part? They accuse you of being dramatic or paranoid. But falcons do not apologize for sharp vision. Eagles do not apologize for their authority. Hawks do not apologize for circling. Why then should you apologize for the gift heaven sealed into your spirit? This weight is not punishment. It is proof. Proof you were never ordinary. Proof your perception was designed as a weapon. Proof that you carry a code most of the world will never decode. The skies confirm your vision, but the earth also testifies. Beyond falcons, eagles, and hawks, there are other creatures appear as seals of chosenness. If these animals keep crossing your path, it is because heaven is multiplying confirmations, so you cannot deny who you are. 1. The white stag. The stag is not simply a deer. It is a symbol of rare encounter. White stags appear in myths and legends as messengers of divine pursuit. If you see stags often, especially in visions or dreams, it means heaven is confirming your uniqueness. You are not hidden. You are sought after. The stag says, "You cannot escape what you were born to be." 2. The lion. The lion is authority grounded in earth. While the eagle rules the skies, the lion rules the land. If lions follow your path, whether in images, dreams, or repeated symbols, it is heaven reminding you of your roar. Authority was given to your voice. When you speak, things shift. When you declare, atmospheres change. The lion does not whisper, clarity in daylight, but revelation in night. Others stumble when the world turns dark, but you navigate. You were not meant to be blinded by shadows. You were designed to pierce them. These animals are not mere coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven repeats the message through creation itself. You are marked. Alongside animals, the language of numbers continues to pursue you. And in this block, let us decode new sequences. 919. This number comes to the chosen when endings and beginnings overlap. The 9 closes a chapter. The 1 begins a new one. The 9 confirms the cycle again. If 919 appears, it is because heaven is telling you, do not fear the ending. It is the seed of the beginning. 4747. This mirrored pattern is a declaration of stability within transition. 4 for foundation. 7 for spiritual completion. W is solid. 1302. To many, this would look meaningless, but not to the chosen. 1 for unity. 3 for divine completeness. 0 for eternity. 2 for alignment. Together they say, you are not late. You are precisely aligned with eternity's schedule. When you see these codes, write them down. Do not dismiss them. Do not scroll past them. They are part of the divine library written into your timeline. Let us speak honestly. Chosenness often feels like loneliness. Friends misunderstand you. Family members dismiss your visions. Society calls you strange. And because of this, many chosen ones carry quiet sorrow. But I want you to hear me clearly. Loneliness is not the same as abandonment. You are not abandoned. You are set apart. There is a difference. Set apart means guarded for higher use. Set apart means refined for greater mission. Set apart means the world could not handle your gift, so heaven kept you hidden until the right hour. This is why rejection followed you, why betrayal stung you. This is why your circle shrank smaller than you ever wanted. It was heaven pruning, not punishing. When falcons flash across your skies, when eagles stir in your dreams, when hawks hover in your path, when stags, lions, and owls begin to cross your vision, The message is consistent. You are not forgotten. You are being summoned. Summoned to live above average sight. Summoned to walk in uncommon authority. Summoned to carry messages that others cannot hold. Chosen ones do not live easy lives, but chosen ones live significant lives. And if you are here, it means heaven has already decided you are significant. There comes a moment when all the pieces finally converge. The falcon, the eagle, and the hawk. Together they have been circling your skies, not to confuse you, but to direct you. The stag, the lion, and the owl, they have walked into your awareness, not as coincidence, but as echoes of the same message. 4747, 919. They are not meaningless digits. They are timestamps, confirmations, whispers from eternity. What do they all say? They say this: you were chosen since birth. You were chosen to carry vision when others stumble blindly. That is why the falcon visits you. You were chosen to walk in authority that makes atmospheres tremble. That is why the eagle descends upon you. You were chosen to live under heaven's unblinking surveillance. That is why the hawk circles above you. You were chosen to be rare, pursued by destiny itself. That is why the white stag appears in your dreams. You were chosen to roar with a voice that shakes the ground. That is why the lion comes to you. You were chosen to navigate in darkness without fear. That is why the owl stares through your night. Together, they form a constellation of confirmation. Different animals, different numbers, different signs, but one message: you are marked. Before we close, let us add sequences pursue you. 606 for man, 0 for eternity, 6 again. This number tells you that what is human in you is wrapped in eternity. You are both earth and heaven's design. 1771, a mirror code. 1 for unity, 7 for spiritual awakening, doubled and mirrored to say, you are a reflection of heaven's choice. 888, not just abundance, but unending cycles of new beginnings. If you see this, it is the roar of the lion and the wings of the eagle combined, authority that renews without limit. These numbers will not leave you alone because heaven refuses to let you forget who you are. You may still ask, why me? Why was I chosen? The answer is not because you were the strongest, not because you were the smartest, not because you were the most deserving. You were chosen because heaven delights in choosing. That purpose is greater than every rejection you endured, every tear you shed, every season you thought would break you. You stand because you were marked. And if you carry the M in your palms and the crescent moon etched like silver in your flesh, then you already know your destiny was written before you took your first breath. Now, let me speak to you with no script, no formality, just heart. If this word has touched you, if it has resonated in your spirit, I want you to stay connected, not because this is a channel, but because this is a home. Subscribe today not as a number, but as a voice in this community of chosen ones. And I want to ask you something more. Share your visions with us in the comments. Tell us what animals have appeared in your path. Tell us what numbers chase you in the silence of your days. Tell us if you too have seen falcons, eagles, or hawks in moments that felt too precise to be random. Because when you share, others will see themselves in your words. This community is not built on entertainment. It is built on alignment. We are gathering the marked ones, the sealed ones, the chosen since birth. And together, we confirm what heaven has always whispered. You were never ordinary. So join us. Subscribe, comment, share. Now, since birth, marking you with signs so you would never lose your way. You were chosen, and nothing will change that. If you are still here, still listening, then it is because something inside of you refuses to let go. It is because every word has struck a chord in your spirit that no amount of logic could erase. And that is proof enough that this message belongs to you. Heaven does not waste time repeating itself to those who will not listen. If the skies continue to send falcons, eagles, and hawks into your awareness, if stags, lions, and owls show themselves when you least expect it, if numbers haunt your days and nights, like whispers coded into time itself, then you must finally face the truth. You were chosen since birth, and the world will never explain you because the world did not create you. The falcon's vision expanded. The falcon's eyes are designed for distance, but distance does not only mean miles ahead. Spiritually, distance means future. When the falcon crosses your skies, heaven is giving you glimpses of what is coming. That is why you often feel things before they happen. Why dreams have struck you like warnings or previews of coming events. That is why your intuition feels more like certainty than suspicion. Falcons are heaven's confirmation that your foresight is real. It is not paranoia. It is prophecy. And if numbers like 2727 appear in those moments, do not ignore them. Double twos for agreement. Double sevens for revelation. A falcon sequence announcing that your vision is aligned with heaven's watch. The eagle's dominion expanded. Eagles do not live at ground level. They soar above storms. They ride the currents of chaos not to escape, but to dominate. When the eagle appears in your journey, it is heaven demanding that you stop living beneath your authority. You are not called to be broken by storms. You are called to rise upon them. And when numbers like 4114 flash before you, understand their weight. 4 for foundation, 1 for divine unity, mirrored again with 4. This is the eagle's stamp.